Kimberly Ewing, I'm your host here at the Media Lounge at the 22nd Annual Wild and Scenic Film Festival. The theme this year is real action, and boy, do we have a real action film. We have Marie Rouhban and Anna Marie Strickland here. Marie's the writer-director, and the lead actress is Anna Marie. Suzie and Jenny. That's the movie. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's been, so first of all, your movie played the first night at the Wild and Scenic. It was part of the late night movies, which is really fun. Tell me, well, first of all, tell us about the movie and how that first late night reception was. Tell us a little bit about the movie. We know it's Jenny, but Suzie more.
Yeah.
And you're Suzie in the film.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the movie.
It is a dark comedy centered around the character of Suzie, who is a hardcore activist and protector of the planet, who hears the very bad news and decides to take an extra step of action towards protecting the planet in a rather unusual way.
Right, and being Suzie over there, your example of activism was what in the film?
Oh, can I say now?
Sure.
Is that okay, Maria?
Go ahead.
I
You
actually
clean up your park, right?
Yeah,
you love this
I
park.
clean up my park. I love my park. I'm a volunteer at the park. I grow plants, and then I see a young lady who is littering in my park, literally right in front of me.
And talking really loudly on
and
her cell phone.
Yes, and being thoroughly obnoxious, and she starts to tick me off. And after strike 3,
Oh, because you saw and witnessed her several times at the park.
multiple times, I decide to take action. I do a little scientific research, and then the next day I entice her to come to my home.
That's
where,
right.
Yes.
Come here.
Come here. I offer her money to come to my home, and she comes, and I do away with her because she's polluting the planet. I turn her into compost.
Oh my goodness. And you know, I have to say at the end of your film, it's quite sly, because tell us the scene where like everybody's like, oh, like it's really sly how you present that.
You mean at the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also in the garden.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the first,
yeah, you go ahead.
The first scene and the last scenes are actually the same, but presented in a misleading way at the beginning, where we just see her bury someone and just think that she's a very caring person who's burying someone she loves. And by the end of the movie, we understand that that person is actually someone she got rid of herself. And that was actually not in the script. It's only in the editing that we rearranged everything and decided that it would be fun to add that scene again at the end.
Because that's a really clever, as a narration, a narrative story. It's like, oh, now we're understanding.
Yeah.
And it's like you were putting new plants in with a little bit of or a little bit of Jenny, a little bit of a compost of Jenny.
That's right.
We don't normally, as Wild and Scenic, do narrative stories like this. So tell us, like, how delightful and how fun was this project for you guys?
You want to start?
No, you go, you go.
Tell me what's the impetus? What happened? How did it happen?
I feel like that character came to life in my mind because I related a lot to what she feels in the movie. That very big anger when you see someone. It was not necessarily littering, because littering is kind of an obvious do not do that, but I kept witnessing little things that would make me very, very mad, and was starting to think of something of balance. When you take so much from the planet by littering, by over-consuming, you have to rebalance somehow by giving out your body and composting. And I felt like I think that these people should die and their remains should go back into the soil that they're ruining. And I thought that's kind of a fun way to do a dark comedy and deliver that hard-hitting message with touches of lightness.
Of course.
And while I adore documentaries, and I think that they're very efficient because they educate a lot, they can, and there's something for everyone.
Sure.
Some of them are depressing, and so they're going to make you, oh wow, I am so sad, I need to take action. Some of them make you angry. Some of them inspire you. Some of them just educate you. I think that narrative is also a way to really entertain.
Sure.
And it's a good way to reach a larger crowd. And so I realized that a lot of the movies that I want to make, I would like to deliver sustainable messages in a fun way so that it can reach a
Well, and
greater
it's quite
audience.
the niche too,
Yeah, it
because
is.
it's not common, but your message is clear.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
And how did you find your lead actress?
On backstage.
Okay.
I won't be able to tell the whole story because my producing partner Juliette is the one who's always on top of things. She understands exactly what's in my mind, and she's the best at. We always put out like a casting call, but a lot of people apply, and it's not necessarily what we look for. So
Yeah.
she ends up just looking through everyone's profile, and she's the one who came up with Anna Maria, and we just reached out to her.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, it was such a blast. If we were to have you come back, because I can't see why we wouldn't, because this is such a unique style of telling the story. Do you have could you give us a little peek preview or thoughts of what other ideas you have for films?
Well, first, Suzie was a feature-length film that I had in mind of.
Oh.
She was already an established killer, and she was looking...
She was an established killer?
It was not her first kill. She had already...
Established killer.
Yeah. And she had been doing it for a while, and she was towards the end of her life and looking for someone to carry on her legacy. And the story was centered around the mayor of her city who was welcoming power plants and very bad corporates that ruined the planet and that would ruin the town she's in. But that would be a very big budget, and so that short film was imagined as a proof of concept for a bigger one.
Right.
So that's something that I'm currently working on, and there's also a book. I imagine a lot of the audiences know it. It's called Tender by the Flesh. Tender is the Flesh.
Tender is the flesh. Yeah.
An Argentinian book that I'm trying to adapt into a movie.
Ooh.
The rights have been sold for now, but to a Spanish TV network. But I'm not sure it'll be easily turned into a TV show. So I'm already in the loop to get the rights if they don't get if they don't get to make that TV show.
Okay,
I
well,
think that's a very cool
we
story,
will be
but much
seeing
darker.
You, yeah. We'll be seeing you again about
hope
these,
so.
issues that can, have a little twist, a little comedy, and it's going to reach different audiences because of that, and we love that. The more the merrier. So thank you guys, and let's hope that you return with the next story and the next dark comedy, because who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
We hope so too.
I know. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
here at the
much.
Wild and
Thank you for
Scenic.
having us.
Yeah, thank you guys. Let's give them a nice round of applause. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.